Let's train with the high serve bulky forehand in the Tour 7 and 8 of Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wildlife Studios. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplay 365 and to turn on the bell if you like this video. So let's start the matches versus Patnik CZ for Zek, a next silent counter puncher. So he was using the anniversary string, which is a nightmare of a special string for high serve big forehand players, having the long catch and the precision ability thanks to the forehand counter. Actually, I would prefer to face Kaito's using any special string having forehand counter but not having long catch than this one, because well, Kaito is very agile, of course, and with his very high agility, outflanking him when he has the long catch is very, very tricky. So yeah, I would prefer to face Kaito's using the Garland fiber or Basti string, which are special strings having the same abilities: forehand counter, critical shot, and stamina shear, and they don't have a long catch. Yeah, see, with this long catch, you really need to hit on the line winners to definitely outflank Kaito's, otherwise it's impossible. And you need to hop by the end of the match for Kaito's to have a fewer stamina, and only then, if you remain accurate enough, well, you have a chance to come back. And that's what I try to do here. Like in all matches versus Kaito's using special strings having forehand counter and long catch, most of the time they will be tired by the end of the match. And if you're lucky enough, well, you can come back. If you are accurate enough, and if your opponent wasn't accurate enough, which is rarely the case. When my opponent is playing, he is very accurate almost all the time, and then you can't count on him. You can hope that he's going to commit an enforced error first. You need to go and provoke that error, or to hit that cross-court drop shot to force him to long catch and return a weak shot, and then end it. I was very lucky to come back in this match. This is a next silent counter puncher, really. Another overpowered Kaito, like there are so many in Tour 8 now. And 74 forehand, 73 backhand, that's really the two best hand stats that you can have with Kaito in this game. My opponent was using the choker chords, which is definitely a regular string that Victoria using high serve big forehand can handle more easily than any special string having the forehand counter. But for me, the choker chords is better for use than the Siberian wire. Very simply because even if it doesn't have any forehand counter ability, well, it still has a stamina shield tier 1, and that stamina shield is for me more precious than the forehand counter, because you can, if you play the defensive shots well enough with Kaito, you can annoy a lot the high serve players while trying to defend at all cost, returning a lot while waiting for the high serve player to hit his bulky forehand shots out of the court. A bit out of frustration, not being able to outflank Kaito. Yeah, was lucky there with the very strong shots of this Kaito catching the net. But then I return the favor by committing this enforced error, but by the end I was lucky enough to outflank definitely this rabbit. Well, let's play now versus Victoria, very powerful Victoria, the one of Remember Me, one of the best baseliners. He's hitting very hard shots, whether he plays with Kaito or Victoria. And well, I will have to pay a lot of attention if I want to survive in this duel of two Victoria. 80 of forehand and 75 backhand. That's huge. Yeah, and that gives those monster forehand. Plus, this Victoria was having precision with the silver and wire. But, well, that's always the same old problem with the silver and wire. It has no stamina shield. And this lack of stamina may seem insignificant during the first part of the match, but, well, the stamina depletion is going to increase fast and faster when the match is going to last. And the more shots you play, the higher the difficulty will your opponent have returning your shots, very simply because, well, stamina is lower. So, yeah, that was a very, very nice return there. Some fantastic reflexes. But by the end, really, because this Victoria can't move anymore. Well, that was not too tricky to outflank her. Let's play now versus Kaito, having standard stats for high tours. That was the kind of stats that I was having with my Kaito before maxing him out. Otherwise, all not good AP cards are at level 12. So, with the use of the antioxidants card, this Kaito can use the silver and wire more than if he was having the carbo load. But even with the antioxidants, as you are going to see, the stamina is still going faster than my 32 stamina stat. And that's kind of crazy how the long catch of this silver and wire is going to be detrimental for this Kaito. So of course, like almost all Kaitos playing with silver and wire versus my Victoria, they almost all the time lead. That's almost automatic. That's almost impossible for me to avoid the lead of those Kaitos. They very generally lead like 4-1, 5-1, 5-2 or 6-1, 6-2. And then if I can stay focused enough, well, that means that I can keep the accuracy of my shots at a decent level, not trying to rush. Well, I always have a chance to come back with my Victoria, thanks amongst others to those cross-court drop shots, or very simply some just accurate bulky forehand shots, very simply because the Kaitos can't run anymore by the end of the match. And then you just need to stay calm, focus on where you are going to hit to definitely outflank, to not give your opponent a chance to catch the ball. Let's play versus Kona. Very, very high stats, Kaito. So that was a bit weird not to see Kona use a Kaito having Kaito sourcing here. Yep, this Kaito was only using the anti-outsidence. Usually, I face a Kona using Kaito with the Kaito sourcing, having something like 77 of stamina. That's huge. A weaker forehand. But here, well, she preferred to give more power to the forehand. And she was having a very good backhand stat with this build. Alright, so same thing is the Cyprian wire. And we are going to see almost the same pattern than in other matches between Victoria and Kaito, except that in that one I wasn't led right from the start of the match, not that much, and I couldn't even lead. Yep. Kona wasn't trying to hit very hard in this match. She was trying rather to return properly, to control the shots. Sometimes she just plays like that, and sometimes she prefers to hit very hard. And well, with the hard shots, that's not always easy to master the accuracy. So yeah, that can be a good thing too, to try and control the shots. Well, let's finish with a match versus a Kaito having standard stats for high tours. The one of Iceman 925. Yeah, some bad serve at the beginning of the match, like almost all the time. I am used to start the match with a lot of bad serves, inaccurate shots. So Iceman was trying to hit rather soft shots to try to unsettle my Victoria, hitting a bit like Krug or FKL 81. But the soft shots of Krug and FKL 81 are hit most of the time with a bit more of hardness, I would say. They're not too soft. And well, they are a bit more annoying. So of course, versus those soft shots, if you can hit winners on the line, winners shots like on the last point, where I was quite lucky, then everything is easier for Victoria. Well, you're going to discover the build that I was using for all of those matches. Well, I hope you enjoy watching me train with my Victoria using the high serve bunky forehand in the Tour 7 and 8 of Tennis Clash, a sports game published by Wildlife Studios. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gameplay 365 and to turn on the bell to stay tuned for new videos of Tennis Clash. Thank you a lot for your support, and see you soon on Gameplay 365. Bye bye.